Hello, Retriever fans, and welcome to another edition of the Ryan Odom UMBC Basketball Show here on UMBCRetrievers.tv and Q1370. Coach, welcome in, and two big wins this weekend. I went back, and let's start with the New Hampshire game. Just an amazing game on Saturday here at the Rack. I went back and went through the play-by-play. It's like an epic novel when you look at that game. I guess let's start with Will's game-tying three-pointer in the first overtime. We had talked about this after the game. It was kind of the similar play to what you guys ran at Richmond.
Yeah, it was.
Didn't get a look, but Will got the look and knocked it down. And probably one of the most amazing shots we've seen here at UMBC in quite a long time.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, what an amazing play for our team. You start out with the pass that Joe was able to put on target there. He did the same thing at Richmond. Will was able to catch it and kick it over to, I believe, Jarris or whoever. Yeah. And we had just enough time to kind of do both. And told Will before, if you catch it and you get a look, that's great. If not, we'll do the best that we could do at this point. But they at least could reach back and with some level of confidence that they had been in that position before, and obviously you're asking a whole heck of a lot, to be able to knock that down and put it into overtime, and the guys were able to do it. It's a shot he'll remember, and we will all remember for the rest of our lives, for sure.
A lot of people don't realize 2.3 seconds is a lot of time.
Yeah.
You don't think in your head that it is, but it gives you a chance maybe to catch, maybe even dribble and get a shot up. So you guys had some options once they made the free throw. And Coach, that's the other thing. Do you let's talk coach strategy for a little bit. Do you miss the free throw on purpose there and risk losing the game knowing that you guys would have had to come 94 feet in 2 seconds?
I wouldn't. No, I mean I'm always a big believer in you knock it
just
home.
Play, right.
Yeah, I mean if there's a little bit less time, then they got to throw it the length. But you just never know. I mean that shot went in, so you bring losing into the equation. I don't think is the right way to go about it.
All right. The game itself, just back and forth. You guys got the early lead. Then they made a run. I think you guys were up 7 at one point. They were up 5 at one point in the first half. It's tied. And then they just came out and just shot the lights out from 3 to begin the second half. What did you tell your team? You took the timeout. What did you tell your team at that point once they came out on fire to start the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we had to keep doing what we were doing, but, they certainly did start out the beginning of that half playing really, really good basketball. Mm-hmm. And they were putting a lot of pressure on us to try to match that, just to kind of stay close to them. They're better guys. I say better players. They're starters, played very well, early in that half. Certainly they made a few key threes there. Leisner, got going inside. I mean, he's tough to deal with. So, I mean, you knew they were going to make a run at that point. They've got a very good basketball team. They've played well at home, and they've played well on the road, in and out of conference. So we knew it was going to be a battle.
You guys responded, and you responded well. And no surprise, it was with the 3. Jarris hits a 3, and then Arkel Lamar just caught fire. 3 straight threes. By the time you guys were done and Jordan Grant hit a 3, you guys had taken the lead at that point and really had come storming back in that second half. Yeah,
I mean, as has happened some this year, our team, it's kind of a matter when we're going to get our run, and that happened to be the time. And a lot of situations, it's different guys stepping up, and that just happened to be Arkel's time, and he was open and had room and rhythm, and his teammates trusted him, and he knocked it down. And so it was great to see him kind of have that moment there.
You mentioned this in the post game too. Not only that, but then he came down. I think the next possession guarding Camera and did a nice job defensively to force a miss. So he was doing it on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he really was, and has been the last few games. And he's elevating his play, and all of our guys that are coming off the bench could easily be starting, for us. I mean, that's the type of team that we have, and they're producing, and certainly last night was a good example of that as well.
The other thing that stood out to me when I looked at the play-by-play in the regulation and the 2 overtimes was the amount of events that happened in the last 30 seconds of each.
Yeah.
And take me through. You guys make a couple free throws. You're down 5 late. make a couple free throws, get it to 2, and then you got the big turnover, which was huge. It goes off of Deion's foot, and you get the ball back. Set me up that timeout, and there's a lot of different thoughts. Obviously, most thoughts are you tied home, go for the win on the road. You guys just put the ball in your best player's hands, and he pretty easily got to the basket for 2.
Yeah, he did. It was a side out-of-bounds play that we had put in that week, and it just happened that we needed it, at that particular time. And everybody kind of executed, what their potential or their role was within that play, and Jarris made a great read and went to the basket.
So second overtime, we talked about, Will, the second overtime. You guys, I guess the one play that stood out the most was, a turnover. Jarris misses the layup, but Sam...
You're bringing up all these plays. I have no idea what happened. I'd have to go back. There's so many within the guts of that game.
We have to talk about Sam, too, because Sam gets that rebound and kicks it to Rodney.
Yeah, that was huge.
You missed the layup, but you end up getting a 3 instead to tie the game.
That's right. No, that was a great play by Sammy. Just the hustle to get there and to come up with the rebound and then have the presence of mind, all right, to see Rod way open in the corner over there and give him a chance to knock it home. That was a big, big play.
Which gets to 2 points, I guess. One is the emergence of Sam Schweitz.
Yeah.
Comes in for Saturday and just, you're struggling to shut their inside game down. He comes in and puts the clamps on camera.
Yeah.
I guess he had 4 blocks in the game.
He did.
And the other thing is Rodney's ability to shoot the ball. He's really starting to come into his own now, getting his stroke back from long range.
Yeah, and he's much more relaxed, I think, is the key. He knows he's going to play now, and he knows kind of what his role is within the team, so he's not rushed. He's playing both ends, too. His defense is very, very good. He gives us a major boost on offense as well, and he and Jourdan have played together for so long, since they both first got here. And now it's neat to have both of them coming in. That's a huge, huge boost for us.
Well, the other thing we talked about on Saturday was New Hampshire only going about 6 deep. They do play 8, but only for a few minutes. They're 6 against your 10 and your 4-guard rotation. There were times in that first and second overtime where their guards were just gassed.
Yeah.
And they just didn't have anything left in the tank.
Yeah, our guys have the ability to, wear other teams' guards down for sure. And, that night they kept playing. It took everything we had, to be able to win that game, obviously. And New Hampshire's a good basketball team, and there are other good ones, too, within our league. So our depth has got to be key for us down the stretch.
So we sat there in postgame, and you talked about. I asked you the question about what this does for you moving forward, and you said it could go either way. You could rest on your laurels, or it could be a boost. We go to Binghamton last night, and a very, very efficient 92-74 win. Maybe the best offense for 40 minutes you guys have played all year.
Yeah, it was a great performance by our guys. They were very unselfish, and it was fun to watch that kind of take place, and they played a lot of zone throughout the game, and they mixed up 1-3-1, 2-3 zone. There's some of their man-to-man as well. They pressed us up the court, so we saw a lot of different defenses, and I was most impressed with our guys' ability to kind of recognize what was needed with each one, and they executed throughout that game on offense for sure. You
guys are shooting the 3 well again. And the thing that stands out to me, Coach, I pulled these numbers. The last 3 wins for you guys, you've won 3 or 4. Turnover to assist to turnover ratio, 23-6, 18-7, and 28. And then all 3 of those games, you guys are averaging 100 points a game. That's pretty efficient.
Yeah, it is. And key there, assists and the turnovers, or lack thereof from a turnover standpoint. And we try to be 12 or less, and we've had several really good games in a row, and that helps us win games. It gives you a chance. It keeps you in the game. 7 turnovers in a double overtime game is pretty much unheard of. Yeah. So, obviously getting it done. Yeah, no doubt.
Jourdan Grant's going to join us on the show. We talked a little bit about Jourdan a few seconds ago, but just what he's meant and kind of the infusion off the bench from Jourdan that you're getting on a nightly basis.
Yeah, he plays both ends of the court. He's a great leader. He's capable of guarding the other team's best perimeter player. Sometimes even their 4-man. Occasionally when we switch ball screens, he did that some last night. He rebounds the ball. He's very unselfish. He's taking care of our basketball at a very, very high level right now, which I'm most proud of for him. he understands where his shots are coming from, and he's stepping up and knocking it down for us, which is good. He's always a threat to get to the basket, and he gives us a huge boost. I mean, I call him a Swiss Army knife, because he does so many different things, for our team.
Stat of the day, I guess you guys and your opponents are even in rebounding. I guess with the team that you put on the floor night in and night out, and sometimes 3 and 4 guards, that's a win for you guys, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And we have to hold our own on the boards. If we can win it, that's great. But we can't get dominated there. I mean, that's a huge thing, for any basketball team. Because if you're giving up, playing good defense, and then you give up a second shot, then all the good defense that you played is out the window. And last night our guys did an excellent job of controlling that.
I have to ask you about your demeanor. We saw the shot of Will's 3 that went in. You come walking through the screen with just a big sigh. I've never seen you. I've seen you on the bench get into your guys a little bit. I've never seen you just lose it. Has there ever been a time in your coaching career where you just
lost
lost it? Because we've seen some guys do that here.
Not so much here, but last year, there were some times where I did. But I try to not get too high or too low, because then I can't really help these guys the way they need to be helped. If I'm all over the place, then they'll probably be all over the place too. So I try to keep myself in check if I can.
Other thing that stands out to me too is the way you run the huddle in timeouts. This is the first year or the first time I've ever been behind the bench doing sidelines for basketball. I never realized, when we do radio or television and we sit on the other side, it seems like forever when there's a TV timeout.
It can be rushed.
But when you're watching what happens over by the bench, you have to be organized and you have to know what you're doing going in, or you run out of time, and there's just not enough time. And I'm amazed at how your demeanor is during those timeouts, and the way you're able to speak to your team about what needs to happen next.
Yeah, I mean, and every timeout, provides an opportunity to kind of, reevaluate what's happening, and I think that's what most coaches do. They talk about, what the game plan was going in. How is it going right now? What do we need to do a little bit differently to maybe grab hold of the game? Are we not playing hard as we need to play? Sometimes it's really simple, but there certainly is a lot of strategy that goes into it. And at this time of year, most teams understand what their coach wants, and our guys certainly do. So sometimes we come in the huddle, I don't have to say very much. They got it. They can kind of run the huddle, which is an even better thing. No
doubt. Last thing for you, 6-3 now in the conference, 3rd place by yourselves. Really set yourselves up in a nice place moving forward. 7 games left, and a real nice opportunity to finish in the upper echelon of the conference.
A lot of games to be played. A lot of good teams that we're going to face here in the next couple of weeks. I was very pleased with the win at Binghamton. Our guys played good on both sides of the ball. We're going to face another hungry team at Maine. And, they had the game here when we played them the first time around. I think it was, 4 or 5 points. We had to call timeout, and the guys executed down the stretch, to stretch it back out to a comfortable margin. But Maine's a good basketball team. They're well coached. And so we're going to have to play well up there to win.
No doubt. At Maine on Saturday, and then back home again, 2 big ones next week. Hartford at 7 o'clock on Thursday night next week, and then Vermont comes into UMBC on the weekend. Coach, appreciate it, and good luck up in Maine.
Thanks so much. We need the students out here. We're back in town for Hartford and then Vermont, so hopefully we can, I'm happy that all the students are back here now. Well, let's get them out here and support these guys.
Before we go, one of the amazing things on Saturday, and it was just like it hit me in the second overtime. The fans were amazing. The ones that were here were amazing and loud, and you can tell the difference that it makes and feeds into the athletes.
Yeah, I mean, we need a home court advantage without a doubt. So hopefully we can continue to kind of create that here in the RAC in its last year.
You got it, Coach. Thank you. Stay tuned. Coming back after the break, we'll talk with UMBC guard Jourdan Grant. Retriever fans, welcome back to the Ryan Odom UMBC basketball show here on UMBCRetrievers.tv and Q1370. Big win for UMBC last night over Binghamton, 92-74. It's a double dip this week as they won in overtime as well over New Hampshire, 105-103, double overtime on Saturday. The women won last night as well. They defeated Binghamton here at the RAC Arena. 53-45 was the final. Joining me now is UMBC guard Jourdan Grant. Jourdan, welcome in.
Well, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
It's an amazing season, huh?
It's going pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it.
Talk to me first about just the how much more fun it is when you're winning and when things are going well, and just describe to me the kind of the mood of the team right now.
Man, it's crazy. I mean, it's just such a different vibe in the locker room. I mean, the guys walking around smiling. It's good for somebody to ask you, yeah, like, how y'all doing this year? What's your record? You can tell them a positive record. So I mean, it's a big turnaround from last year, and I'm pretty happy with it so far.
I remember those trips where you'd be on the plane, right? And the old lady from New Hampshire was like, "Hey, how you guys? What is your record?" And you're kind of like, 3 and 10. But now,
I mean, proud to say it now, so that's all that matters.
Your role this year and what you've been able to accomplish, and not just you, but Coach and I talked about this in the New Hampshire game. With that 4-guard rotation, it makes it really tough on your opponents.
Definitely.
To guard you guys.
I mean, the 4-guard, me, KJ, Rod, and Jarris, I mean, so that's a lot of trouble right there. We can all shoot it. We can all put it on the deck. So, I mean, and we all play defense. We all pressure the ball. So it's going to be a long night for a lot of guards.
Talk to me about your game. I know I was told you worked really hard in the off season on your 3-point shot, on the long range shot. Talk about the work you put in and just the effort from you in between seasons getting better as a player.
I mean, the coaches came in and they were just like, all it takes is repetition, just getting in the gym, working on my shot, and not just because I'm working on my shot doesn't mean I'm just settling for those shots. Right. I mean, they definitely still want me to get to the basket. That's what I'm best at doing. So, I mean, it just complements my game better now. I mean, the guys are finding me the open ones. I'm taking the right ones, so it's just working out. I mean, I'm accepting the role off the bench is great. I mean, every team needs bench points. So
it's amazing to watch this offense that Coach Odom's put in. It's almost like you all have freedom to create and take shots, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely with that freedom, he gives us a lot of confidence. I mean, it tells us to shoot it when you're open and be aggressive. That's one of the last things he says before we go on the court. Be aggressive and attack. Be like, don't let them punch you first. We got to punch first. So.
Your game, you talked about not settling. One of the strengths for you is getting to the basket. And I guess it's been a process, especially, I have to imagine in this conference, I mean, you really have to focus on getting stronger because it's a physical conference. And you know going in, Jourdan, when you're going to the basket, somebody's there to hurt you and make sure you don't get there, right?
Yeah, you definitely got to prepare for a lot of contact. I mean, he always tells us play off 2 feet so you can have your balance and strength. But, I mean, going in there, you're not just looking to score, you're always looking to kick out. I mean, we have so many 3-point shooters that are capable of knocking it down from anywhere in the gym. So it just makes it easier on me. If they stay home and stay with 3-point shooter, I have a shot. If not, I have a dump off or a kick out. So it makes it easy for me.
All right, take me through Saturday. First of all, the things that I love about you guys this year is you're never out of a game.
Never.
Never out of. You're never out of a game. First of all, what are you thinking when Arkell just starts going off from the 3-point line?
He was going crazy. I was on the bench like, what? Another one. I mean, it was crazy. It was good to see him out there doing his thing. I'm really happy for him. I mean, he was hitting the shots, and then we just started getting momentum back. It all started with defense, and he was doing his job both on defense and offense, so it was just flowing for him at that point.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And we've seen a lot of times you guys made that great run and got the game to within one. I think your 3 actually gave you guys the lead.
Yeah.
But then they kind of, the ebb and flow, they come back and they go back on top.
Right.
But again, the wherewithal to stay in within things and get the steal and get the basket and tie it and go into overtime.
I mean, he always is telling us that we had to just keep calm and just play our game. Like whatever we do is don't panic. We're still in the game no matter what. I mean, with us being down, I mean, we've been down in a lot of games, unfortunately, this year, but we shoot so many threes and our offense is so aggressive. We know we can come back at any time.
All right, so where were you? Were you on the bench or were you in the game when Will hit the 3?
He actually caught it right in front of me on the bench. Caught it right in front of me, shot it, and I swear it took the longest time ever to come out the sky, and it just touched nothing but net. I just jumped on him immediately. It's crazy.
I know he practices that
all the time. I was like, him making that shot. It was great to see it at that moment, but I'm not surprised that he made it.
I know It was one. I think he had an open look.
Yeah, he had an open
earlier
look.
That would have put you guys ahead.
It was like 6 seconds. He shot it like 4 seconds before, and then went in and out.
Yeah.
And then we got it back with 2 seconds left, and he shot it again.
And then you guys get the win. Talk to me about Rodney. Rodney, he's had some injury problems. Obviously, the shoulder, had the groin issue earlier this year, and it's been a struggle for him to get back healthy. But now, Jourdan, that he's healthy, you and him are really doing some damage off the bench.
Rod's my guy. I've known him for a long time. It's good to see him. I came in, he was Rookie of the Year, so it's good to see him back in form. He's definitely toughed it out through some injuries, but now he's back 20, 22. It's good to see him off the bench, and then when we come off the bench, it's a lot of chemistry because we know we're going to be on the floor, and it's just good to be out there with him.
I talk about this a lot. You guys, when you shoot the threes, you're not shooting from the arc. Rodney's shooting from like 23.
Yeah.
I said this on the broadcast on Saturday. When Will crosses the timeline, he's a threat, right?
Definitely. We saw that last year in the Stony Brook game. It's a lot of us though. It's not just Will, not just Rod. It's Jairus can shoot it from deep. Joe can shoot it from deep. KJ. It's a lot of us. So
who is there anyone on the team that's not allowed to shoot the three? Sam's not allowed to shoot the three, right?
I would say Sam. We saw Nolan take one in practice the other day, and Odom turned his head and looked at him like, "You shot that?" So a lot of guys know their role. It's not a surprise, but he gives us a lot of freedom to shoot them though. So
no doubt. Tell me about the red shoes.
Actually, the red shoes are not a fashion statement. I wish they were.
Okay.
But it's actually for my foot. I have a couple foot problems going on.
Oh, you got the boot on.
Got the boot on. Got a little bone spur, so it's not.
Okay.
I'm just toughing it out, and the thick sole at the bottom of the shoe actually helps me. So
it has nothing to do with the color.
Nothing to do with the color, but hopefully this week I'll get some black ones. We ordered them, so hopefully
it does make you stand out. I think you should stay with the red because it makes you stand out.
I agree. I don't see the problem. We'll discuss that with Odom, but hey.
Now I will let you know that your hairstyle has been discussed as well.
It has.
Sherburne got the buzz cut last week. Now they've been dogging you about doing it.
They give me a little crap about it, but it's my mojo. I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna just keep my hair probably to the end of the season, till something drastic has to change, then I'll just keep it for now.
All right, sounds good. You're from Bowie. Talk about staying in the state and playing basketball near home and kind of what that's meant to you.
When I first had my freshman year, I wasn't really worried about it, but now that it's formulated and we're doing well, it's good to see my parents coming to every game and supporting and stuff. So it's good to be home. I can go home anytime I want. If I need a home cooked meal, it's always there. So I'm not too mad. It's great to stay in the area. I know all the places around here, so it's good. It's fun. I'm not worried about it.
Where's the confidence level with this team right now? It seems to me like it's off the charts, and you guys really believe that you could beat anyone in this conference, right?
Non-conference, we played a couple good teams, and it started with that. But I think we're really starting to play some good basketball right now on both ends. We know we can score the ball with anybody, and right now we just need to focus on getting stops. And last night we put a couple stops together, and when the threes fall and you're getting stops, the lead just builds, and then you look up at the scoreboard, you're up 20. So
that's the crazy thing.
It's crazy.
You don't have to, Binghamton shot 50% last night, but they weren't even in the game.
Yeah,
you don't have to get a lot of stops as long as you're making your shots and scoring.
Definitely. We force a lot of turnovers as well. KJ is a gnat, and Jairus has good hands, and we bring a lot of guys off the bench actually that play a lot of defense. Arkel plays a lot of defense. Sam, me, Rod. So I think right now it's all in the stops, and once we get stops, we just put the game out of reach at that point.
I know you heard me talking about the assisted turnover. 23-6, 18-7, 20-8. The style and the tempo you play, when you look at the number of turnovers, is there an effort in practice to take care of the basketball, or what are you guys doing where you're just not turning the ball over?
Definitely at this point in the season, we definitely have a feel for it, if the offense is getting sloppy or if we need to pick it up. We run at such a fast pace that we have to keep the ball moving, and turnovers are bound to happen because we move the ball so fast. But I think chemistry is helping a lot. We just know where we are. The plays are running well, so it's not the guards take care of the ball. Us four, Jarris, Rod, me,
Sure,
KJ.
sure.
I mean, we take care of the ball pretty well, so it's pretty good for us.
Now, other thing, last year when you watched, Jarris is a pretty amazing guy to watch offensively. Last year, he pretty much was the offense.
Right.
It's all changed this year.
Yeah.
He only took 11 shots last night. Is there kind of like this temptation to kind of watch him when he's doing his thing on the offensive end?
I mean, it's great to see him doing his thing. I mean, we definitely like to get him the ball when he's in his rhythm. When he gets hot, it's dangerous for the other team. I don't think anybody can really guard him at this point. So, I mean, but at this point, it's like we've had games where 4 and 5 have been in double digits. So we're not really putting the load on him. But, I mean, he's getting his shots and is being efficient, him and Will. So, I mean, offense is just flowing great right now.
And he's starting to hit the long-range jumper, too, which is bad news for the opponents, right?
It's definitely bad news because, I mean, once they step out there and guard him, he can just blow by, and he's creating for others. And he's also playing the other end pretty well, too. I mean, earlier in the year, he had 20 rebounds. That's ridiculous for a guard. So, I mean, he's doing everything for us right now. You've
been here for a while. Vermont and Albany have kind of been sticking points for you guys. How excited are you for this game coming up against Vermont here at the Rack?
So excited. I mean, I think we played them pretty well. I mean, we didn't play a good first half up there, and we're still in the game, but it came down to the wire. So I think it's going to be a great one. I hope we can have just as many fans as they did, but that's definitely a game where we definitely marked on the calendar for a little vengeance.
Did you notice what I talked about, how the fans at the end of the game on Saturday were just crazy and you could feel the energy in the arena?
That's definitely a big part of home court advantage, and definitely in the playoffs. I mean, we're trying to get a home playoff game. The fans definitely mean a lot to us. I mean, we like seeing faces in the crowd and stuff, and we definitely feed off energy, especially on the defensive end.
Is there a buzz? Is there a buzz on campus now?
I mean, definitely we'll walk through the commons and the people are like, wow, like great game last night, like you're doing well. So I mean, it's great to have some support from the student section, and I mean, we definitely would love for more people to come out.
No doubt. Before I let you go, got to mention too, you're just a beast on the boards from your guard position. I guess that's something, though, that Coach Odom stresses for all you guys, Jarris and you and Rodney, everybody to crash the boards and help out, right?
I mean, yeah, they definitely count on me to grab some rebounds. They see me as a big guard. I play the 4 spot all the time.
I hear him talking about you, put you on the all right, Jourdan, you got the 4. I'm like, what?
Yeah, put me at the 4. I've definitely guarded a couple 6'8", 6'9" guys this year. But, I mean, it's not about size right now. It's just about heart and effort.
Right.
I mean, just get in position and going to get it. I mean, me, Rod, Jarris, even KJ will get in there at times. So, I mean, guards do rebound, and that's a big part of us rebounding together as a team.
If I was playing, that's a guy I would not want guarding me for 40 minutes. He is like just
He's a
nonstop.
He's a net. I mean, sometimes I come in for him, and then the coach is like, yeah, you got same ball pressure as him. I'm like, it's not the same. Like, it's not the same. He's 5'6". But, I mean, KJ does a great job on the ball. I mean, it's really good to see the energy like flowing through the defense for our team.
All right, Jourdan, keep up the good work.
Appreciate it.
You got it.
Thank you.
You got it. Maine coming up on Saturday. There are Retrievers up in Maine to take on the Black Bears, and then come on out to the Rack Arena next week, Thursday night against Hartford, and then next weekend against Vermont. Come on out and support UMBC basketball here and help them get some wins. Jourdan, appreciate the time. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
You got it. Also want to thank Coach Odom as well. And you've been watching and listening to the Ryan Odom UMBC basketball show here on UMBCRetrievers.tv and Q1370.